Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator of human race. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Yes, it is I, your lovable host, Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire. Yes, indeed, we are live this Tuesday evening from the state that says, live free or die. Not big government or bust. It is Tuesday, January the 15th, in the year of our Lord 2013. We are halfway through the first month of the year. For those of you who have triskaidekaphobia, I think that's how you pronounce the phobia of the number 13, this is probably a bad year for you. And for a lot of conservatives, libertarians, and freedom-loving people in this country, it's turning out to be a bad luck year. It really, we should probably do a whole show on the year 1913, just to see what happened back then. Maybe if I had some more help, maybe I'd have time to do that. Day by day occurrence, and this day in history in 1913. Maybe we'll do that starting next week or next month. We'll start to look into what happened in 1913. We might find out what's in store for us this 2013. You never know. I know the big topic is, other than Jodie Foster, sort of, nobody's been able to really tell me, did she really come out? I mean, I guess still haven't heard her speech. Why are we, look, isn't this something? We've got people, as a matter of fact, if you go over now and we just check out and see what is trending over on, there we go. If we go over in trending and see what's trending on Yahoo. And the first thing is horse meat found in burgers. Then deaf twins euthanized, and that's in Belgium. I think that was Belgium. The doctors euthanized two twin boys because they were going blind and they wouldn't be able to see each other. And this, believe this or not, it was done legally. But that's that's Belgium. 18 heads found at an airport. Okay, that's pretty gruesome. Laid off man wins $1 million. That's trending. Holly Madison is trending. I don't know why she's trending. Honey Boo Boo Ban is trending. I don't know what this Honey Boo Boo thing. I don't watch that little brat. I will say that it seems like the Trailer Trash Mom has got a good head on her shoulders because she's putting all that money that the kids are making into trust funds for the kids. And the kids, if they go to school, they can get the money, I think, to go to school with up until they're 21. If they don't go to school, then they can't get it until they're like 22 or 25 or something like that. But sounds sounds like she's a pretty well. It's hard to fathom that anybody could be all that intelligent if they do what this woman is purporting to do. I don't. As I said, I've never watched a show. I'm not into this. How can this kid be a tiara? Isn't Honey Boo Boo one of those tiara queen little things? I'm sorry. The kid's fat. Little Honey Boo Boo's fat, and Mom's fatter. I don't know. How did she get to be a beauty queen? Again, I don't watch a show, but she's hard to miss. She was on Good Morning America not too long ago. But Honey Boo Boo is trending. Chargers hiring a new coach is trending. Danica Patrick's divorce is trending. Terminator actor arrested is trending. And I know some of you are probably saying, well, what Terminator actor? Edward Furlong. Who else? The troubled child star who's, hasn't grown up yet as far as I can see. And obesity is trending. Nothing about anything that's affecting your freedom at the moment. Nothing. Nothing trending about guns. Gun bans in like New York and places like that. That's not trending. Nothing trending about stuff that's really going to affect your life. Look, this is the MTV. Well, this is the post. Because you have the pre-MTV generation, you have the MTV generation, now you have the post-MTV generation, and, well, there you go. Post-MTV generation doesn't really care about their liberties and about their freedoms. Plain and simple. New York State. Seals. Now this is from the Associated Press. New York State seals first state gun law since Newton massacre. So the heading is New York's the first state to enact new gun restriction legislation. I guess we're going to measure everything via Newton, the Newton massacre. I guess that's how we're going to do it from now on. Is it pre? Well, they kind of everybody. Look, if we just calm down for a second, we all went through this with Columbine. Remember that? Oh, we need to ban these guns, and need to ban those guns, and need to ban this and ban that. We can't do this and can't do that. Can't have this and can't have that. And one of the reasons why they're calling it an assault. Now, understand this, folks. No, we don't like assault weapons. Why? Because, they tend to be semi-automatic, not automatic, semi-automatic. They could have, 10, 15, 20, 30, depending on the type of gun, 30 bullets in a single magazine. And yet one of the things that they noted is an assault weapon is a weapon in which you could that is made to affix a bayonet. Now, what is a bayonet? It's a knife. Now, I guarantee you that if what's his name, Laza, if he went through the school with a bayonet and tried to slice up everybody, he wouldn't have killed 26 people. So you have to understand that these folks just don't want you. These liberals, they don't want you to be able to defend yourself. I am dead serious here, folks. I'm serious as a heart attack. They do not want you to be able to defend yourself. Because what is it that the first thing they tell you to do? Well, what if I'm in trouble? Dial 911. It takes no offense against cops, but it takes them time to get to the scene of the crime. By the time they get there, as often happens, the crime has taken place, you are either injured or dead, and the criminal is gone. And they will have to track him down later. Well, yeah, but we get him, Rod. We get him, and we punish him. Well, you're dead. It doesn't help you any. Oh, where's the woman who was held up in her attic in the closet, and the woman held up in her closet, and the criminal went looking for them. She dialed 911, and she hid. The cops were not there. The criminal found her. If she hadn't had a gun to shoot him with, she would most likely have been either raped or killed or both. And he would have been out of the house by the time the cops got there. Oh, but let's just say he hung around and he still got arrested. A lot of good that's going to do her when she's laying in her own pool of blood. Folks, I'm being serious as a heart attack here. It is nobody's right and nobody's business to prevent you from. I know I hear all these wonderful. They try to give us a comparison. Well, you don't need an assault rifle. You don't need an assault weapon. Can you have a grenade or a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher? No. Personally, it's a weapon. Now, I don't know. Should a person, an individual, be able to have their own operational tank and their? I don't know. What is a militia? What is a well-armed militia? Does it mean that you have these so-called quote-unquote militias in different states. I think there's 2 of them here in New Hampshire. They're not very large, but some states they can, they have different chapters throughout the state, and they can be fairly. You know what militias are today? Militias are today what the National Guard used to be. Now, the National Guard. Remember the movie First Blood? Was it First Blood? Sylvester Stallone. I think it was First Blood. And he was hiding up in the woods, and they called out the National Guard to go hunt for him. And they were kind of like rookie-ish and weekend war. That was, pretty much what everybody thought the National Guard. Well, you went out in the week, you trained 1 weekend a month, and you went out and had a little bit of fun, and you shot some guns and stuff like that. That's kind of not even what militias are. A little bit better trained than that, but that's basically what militias are today. They have a lot of weaponry. And the interesting thing is that a lot of these members in leadership of militias, these are former military people. They've had some form of military training. So they're not total yahoos out there in many cases. And it's kind of interesting because you'll also find, I've seen these tournaments, paintball tournaments. They've been on TV a few times. If you have cable with umpteen thousand different sports channels, you can pick up one when they have a tournament. And there are a lot of times when there will be current Army units or military units, like there'll be a SEAL team or something like that, and they'll participate. But you know what? They don't win. Those guys don't tend. Now, I know it's kind of weird to think of how can they lose. But see, there's something about, I guess, it's kind of like if you go back to 1776, you had a bunch of ragtag people here in the United States. Not wasn't called the United States then, but here in the colonies, you had a bunch of ragtag backwards people versus the biggest, baddest, most well-trained army of its day, the British Army. And the British Army was getting their butts handed to them. Sometimes there is an advantage of not being overly trained. And let's face it, for good reason, our